What's up, nail geeks, and welcome back to another Lurid Lacquer video. We have a beautiful release to check out this month. I know there were quite a bit of sold outs over the last three releases. And I know Karen has been working her tail off to make sure that happens. Any information that I get by the time I put this video up in terms of restocks on specific colors, things like that, I will have at the end during the sale information and the recap for the launch itself. This month we have two sets. I think this is going to be a per usual sort of theme for Lurid, and I'm not mad at it. So what it basically entails is she has a main collection during her launches, and then the previous release she will bring back the mystery polishes that were included as gift with purchases through the first, I believe it's 20 or so orders that were the first ones to get to the shop for the previous release. But she brings those back, so there's no need to fret or anything like that if you didn't get a gift with purchase or you've compared with somebody else's online or anything like that. You're able to get them. This month is all about Karen's husband as they are celebrating their wedding anniversary at the end of May, which I just think it's so interesting that as I've gotten to know Karen, we have so many things in common with each other. And now we also share our wedding anniversary month. So my husband and I actually just celebrated 18 years together. Sometimes it just blows my mind that it's been that long, but we were high school sweethearts, and now we have kids together, and we're just doing this crazy thing of life with each other. It's wild. So I definitely appreciate this collection, and I think it's really, really sweet. So we have the actual official collection is the a Taurus born in the year of the ox collection. And then we have the gift with purchase set that you can also purchase through this time. I Googled this multiple times to make sure I was going to say this correct. I know I'm still not going to say it correct. I recognize that I do have a little bit of a Southern thing to the way I talk. So I'm going to try. We have the Cartagena Querida collection. I tried. I'm going to put a little caption up here too. So I apologize. I butchered that horribly, but the gift with purchase set is inspired by her husband's hometown in Cartagena, Colombia. So I just think it's really cool. I'm unfortunately going to be butchering the rest of the names for those for that set. Once we get to that, I'm going to do my best. I got Google handy with me when I do the voiceover for that part, but I apologize ahead of time if I butcher a very beautiful language. So we have a massive video to check out, lots of Willet Topper to look at too. So without further ado, let's dive right in. We're going to start off with the A Taurus Born in the Year of the Ox collection. This is a poem that Karen has written to her husband. I love the original concept of her collections revolving around her poetry. It's beautiful, and it reminds me that words are such a powerful force. Hue of Unbreakable Will is described as a red base with fiery red to orange shimmer. And in our PR notes, it does state that yes, the shimmer is warming it up. I totally agree with that. As you can see on the first coat here, you can get a sneak peek of that base color. It's a true medium red in my opinion. And the shimmer is making it this beautiful, brilliant, warm red. I know I'm always picky on warm reds, but this is incredibly beautiful. It reminds me of like the finish on a car. A super sexy car is what it looks like. It's just glowy. I'm going to suggest 3 light coats across the board, and it builds you up slow and steady, maximizes the amount of shimmer on your nails. This color, this entire set really, I'm so sorry y'all, I'm going to be raving about these, and this red is a perfect start. Hue of Unshakable Conviction is described as an orchid pink base with glowy red orange shimmer. This is so beautiful, more glowy goodness going on. This starts off just a touch lighter in terms of opacity than Unbreakable Will, but I'm still going to suggest building this one slow as opposed to just going in heavy-handed to quickly build to opacity. There's a lot of glow with this. It's very warm, and that base color itself is a orchid pink. I completely agree with that official description. The shimmers themselves dry down semi-flat, so honestly, I think any glossy top coat is perfect. Personally, I'm using my favorite quick dry, and I've added a touch of thinner to it, so it is on the somewhat plumper side if you're curious. You Are the Rock That Refuses is described as a warm purple jelly base with glowy fine particle red to orange shimmer. This is like in that color family when I'm always saying as quote unquote that purple. It's kind of like that. It's a touch more intense in my opinion. Again, we've got this gorgeous shimmery inner glow happening, and I appreciate that warm purple just plays up so well with this shimmer. Now, I want to note that Rock That Refuses has a lighter formula to it. If you have any type of imperfections on your nails, I would suggest using a ridge filler just to make sure that it's not going to show through, as this one heavily leans up on that jelly base and how it builds up. So you'll want something to kind of have a smoother foundation as you start to polish your nails. 3 coats and a glossy top coat is perfect here too. To yield more than one molecule is a rich purple jelly base with twinkly red to orange shimmer. This is one of those polishes, completely honest, that over the years I have hoarded these in my collection. This, and then there's one more in this set that's kind of reminiscent of it, will be going in one of my Helmers, and it is going to just sit there for special occasions. This reminds me so much of Unicorn Pea pigment. I had to double check my PR notes to make sure that it wasn't, because it is a son of a witch to get beautiful photos of it. And I think the full hand shot here is giving you a better idea than pictures of what I'm seeing. It's hard to color correct for photos too, but please note that full hand shot is everything. This is fine particle shimmer. It is stunning. Indoor lights, you're mostly going to see that reddish type of cast to the shimmer with a orange at more extreme angles. This is very jelly-like in how it builds up. I do think you can build it up to full opacity at 3 normal coats to get that more opaque type of purple to come out. But I do think maybe a blurring base coat would be best with this one too, just to really hammer home that base color. And here's that second one I was talking about. This is To the Force and the Pressure of the Time, described as a violet jelly base with red to orange shimmer. So in the bottle, Force and Pressure looks, at least to my eyes, I was like, oh, these look kind of similar to that previous one molecule, but they're not. As you can see on the nail, they're very different. This is just so pretty. That shimmer is so special. I think it's different for both of them. I'm going out on a whim on that, but they look different. But overall, the general feel of this unicorn pigment type of vibe. If you're new to indie polish, Unicorn Pea pigment is this old pigment that's been discontinued for many years that had a red to green shift. It's very fine particle, and the shimmer in both of these look super fine particle like that to me. I'm going to suggest 3 coats and a glossy top coat. I would also suggest a blurring base coat of some sort. Even the more sheer blurring base coats I think will work fantastic with this one and the other one too. You Are as Unrelenting as Your Love is described as a neutral purple base with glowy blue to purple shimmer and silver light reflective glitter. This entire video, all of these colors, the strength of the shimmer reminds me exactly why I started up this channel in the first place, because I felt like my old blog, just wasn't doing justice for what I'm seeing in person. These are so glowy and beautiful. Unrelenting has a heavy, very dense formula to it, very smooth on the nail though. Use the texture from your previous coat to adhere the next coat, because this is packed full of silver reflective glitter. It dries on thirsty and textured, so you'll want to use a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat. This is something else in person. It's so glowy. You Are the Only Safe Harbor is described as a blue jelly base with vibrant blue to purple shimmer. I was really worried that this was going to come off super not accurate. And I think, I dare say, my video and sort of my swatches too are doing a pretty good job of what I'm seeing in person. It's a touch darker than what you're seeing on this little shot right here, but it's very vibrant and very glowy. It almost has a chrome lean to how it's applying. So just allow that paddle brush to glide across your nail to prevent any type of streaking. Finish with a good glossy top coat, and it's just chef's kiss. This is a blue lover's dream. I mean, we've got quite a few blues in this collection because per Karen's notes, she wanted to add blue, gold, and red shimmers to include the colors of the Colombian flag. So just all in all, the thought that went into all this, the whole color palette and everything, it's just beautiful. And I love mushy stuff. Okay, I'm always here for that. In a World of Storms is the last one in the set, and it's a deep blue jelly base with blue light reflective glitter and a mix of iridescent flakes that shift from blue to green and from blue to purple. I'm usually pretty picky on flakies, but these types of finishes I can get behind too. You will get a very strong pond effect if you go in very light and slowly build this up. 3 super light coats is what I was aiming for. That way I could get the most mosaic looking appearance. And if you're new around here, what I mean by pond effect is you will see those flakes layered in between that jelly sandwich you made because the base is jelly-like, and you'll be able to see all that depth of flakes. This will dry down very thirsty and flat, and it will need to be smoothed out. So I use a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat to make sure we're glossy good and there's no difference in between my coats here. This is so very pretty. I think my full hand shots give you a really good idea of that gorgeous flaky look. And here is the Cartagena Querida collection, and this entire set is inspired by her husband's hometown in Cartagena, Colombia. These are all in Spanish. I'm going to also say their translated names too, but please note, I'm so sorry for butchering these names. I'm going to do my best. I just wanted to make sure to say it because I wanted to, in any way, preserve the beauty of the thought and the culture that went into these polishes. So let's begin. Tomate de árbol is described as a coral-leaning red base with vibrant orange to gold to green shimmer. It does state in our PR notes that she does recognize this will have a strong overall orange pull on the nail. I agree with that. In fact, this reminds me of some tomato dishes that my mom makes. So yummy. The name of this one translates over to tree tomato. I'm going to suggest 3 coats for opacity. It built beautifully on the nail. That orange lean from the shimmer is like a fiery, striking look. Again, my full hand shot's giving you the best look of what I'm seeing in person. This is gorgeous. Just like the other shimmers in the previous set, this will dry down semi-flat, so I think any top coat's going to be perfect with it. La ciudad más hermosa del mundo is described as a yellow curly base with red to orange to gold shimmer. This one translates to the most beautiful city in the world. I love this one too. It was the first one that caught my eye's attention when I saw the teaser post a little while back. And when I opened up my PR bag, same thing. It was the first one that I gravitated towards because it's just so vibrant and sunny and pretty. I do agree with that official description. We have a straight yellow curly. It has a very, very warm, somewhat mustardy lean to it because of the shimmer. I think 3 coats and a glossy top coat is perfect for it. If you have a super prominent free edge, you may want to use a blurring base. I personally think that if you just polished normally, like what I demonstrated on the video, I don't think a visible nail line is going to be a problem. Bajo las frondas is described as a spring green base with green light reflective glitter and green shimmer that shifts subtly over to teal. This one translates to beneath the fronds. Karen really owns the game for greens. I think she is a green queen, and this one's no exception. It's vibrant, it's summery, and I just think it goes so well with this little set of the gift with purchases. Super pretty. We also have lots of texture and thirstiness from that reflective glitter. So same disclaimer on all reflective glitters, just use the texture to build upon your next layer. I think 3 light to normal coats is perfect. Finish with a thin coat of glitter smoothing top coat and your glossy top coat, and it's perfect, it's smooth, and it just amplifies all that sparkle factor from those glitters. Sol y Mar is described as a cerulean curly base with green to blue shimmer and micro hollow flakes. This translates over to sun and sea. So appropriately named. Once again, we've got this glistening looking blue effect. The blue shimmer has an aqua pull, like what you're seeing on the video here in person as well. It's very glowy, really pretty, so flattering. I mean, how many adjectives can I use for this entire video? They're just beautiful, and I mean, the video just kind of speaks for itself. These practically recorded themselves, if I'm honest. 3 coats and a glossy top coat is perfect here too. It doesn't have any texture as we have hollow flake action going on here. However, you'll want to finish with a slightly thicker top coat because it did dry down quite flat for me. La Bahia is described as a teal base with green to blue shimmer and lime green light reflective glitter. This one translates to the bay. This is a really pretty one too, and what I would consider a distant cousin to the previous one, Sol y Mar. This one has more of a deeper type of base to it, and of course the shimmer, and it's got glitter in it too, is different. 3 coats and a glitter smoothing top coat and a glossy top coat is perfect to build this one up. I would strongly suggest 3 coats on this one because as you can see between that second and third coat, it just maximized that gorgeous shimmer. It's almost large particle to my eye, and it kind of flirts with being this almost foily looking effect. It's just very, very shifty between that blue to green type of shimmer. I think the reflective glitters went really well with this one too. It's not enough that it's overpowering the shimmer, but it is enough that it's very obvious in person in various lighting situations that you'll see that twinkle. Medianoche en la ciudad amurallada, I tried on this one, is a cobalt blue jelly base with micro hollow flakes and shimmer that shifts subtly from a greenish blue to a bluish purple. This one translates to midnight in the walled city. Another gorgeous blue. This is Blue Lovers Renaissance. I think, again, 3 light coats is perfect. No super texture or grittiness to this one. I think a thicker glossy top coat is going to be your friend. There's so much depth from the shimmer, and those microflakes are so lovely. In direct lighting, that greenish shimmer almost takes on a somewhat aqua looking appearance. And we're going to wrap up this trip with the Will It Topper segment. This is where I use a black swatch stick to demonstrate if polishes have layering capabilities. So lots of beautiful shimmers, and most of them work. To be completely honest, I think you could get very creative on a lot of these. Over black, you're going to see a ton of glow and just how much shimmer is packed in these. The reds, I'm telling you, were stunning. Of course, we've got these purples too. Now, the only ones that I would be a little cautious of, because it's like, I don't know, my 2 special ones in this set, One Molecule and To the Force. Those 2, you do see the shimmer in person. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I'm just so selfish and dragon hoarding with polishes like these 2 that I'm like, do I want to layer it? Do I want to, quote unquote, waste it? And of course, we've got these stronger type of opaque ones. Unrelenting works. It's very opaque though. So personally, you could do it over black or dark blues. And the same thing with the other blues too. These are so beautiful. It just popped so well. For the most part, I think these are all going to work really well over matchy-match bases, maybe dark grays, like super dark grays, and blacks, of course. I just fall head over heels in love with strong shimmer finishes every time I work on polishes like these. They're gorgeous. And when we finish off with these last couple of strong shimmery polishes, we are seeing beautiful coverage here. It almost looks like multi-chromes on these last 3 over black. So personally, just know in person, you'll see the tinted base. Keep that in mind if you wanted to kind of layer these up and mess around. I had some files get corrupted whenever I was transferring from my camera to my PC, so my exit did not transport properly. That's okay. We're going to wing it, and we're just going to poke around the website while I discuss the launch information that I have on hand. The site is going to go live Friday, May 31st at 6 p.m. Central Time. Each polish in the Tourist collection is going to be capped at a pre-order cap of 200 bottles a piece. So if you're going to want to get these immediately in your claws, I would suggest being there when the launch goes live. I do see on the website here, there is a little blog blurb here from Karen, and she's got some shipping updates, all this good stuff. I really like how just upfront she is with her info. But it does state here that there are going to be some returning shades for this restock and this launch. We've got Quiet, Unyielding, Amid the Insects Lulling Serenade, and Oh Dauntless Guarded Beauty. And then it states that she's got more that she's planning on doing, hopefully, and she's going to have more information as we move closer to the launch, as she's doing some inventory there. Oh, and then over here, we've also got a restock request too. That's pretty nifty. Look at that. Okay, kudos to Karen. She is like on top of this. I love it. As you can see here, there's lots of information. You can also do all products and you can make a wish list. Little heart icon here. I just want to say she is kicking so much ass and she's doing her best to constantly have the ability to not have FOMO, fear of missing out. So please know if you see something that gets sold out or something during this launch, I can safely say that she's working her tail off on continuing to keep things restocked if people are wanting them. I'm so glad she's having some growing pains. I know it's probably not fun on her end, but I congratulate her and I wish her all the success and more growing. I will link you guys below to this shop, Lurid's shop, if you want to get in there and poke around too, along with the video. And I'll also link you to Karen's Instagram page where she's got all kinds of information. And as she gets info closer to launch, she will be posting it there too. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.